This is Achol on Manifest Happiness, a podcast designed to give you easy and insightful actions you can take in your life right now to find happiness and create your dream life. This episode will be a bit shorter than usual because it's me talking about my favorite things that have guided me through my wellness journey. This includes like books, movies, podcasts, anything else like that. So let's get started. First, I'll go over my book favorites. So a bit of background. As a kid, I really disliked reading. I later found out that this was because I could never find a book that interested me. I was also in French immersion, so we had to read kid French books. The books in French were always very childish fiction, and I didn't really enjoy that style. Both of these things together made me dislike reading, and I didn't do much of it because of that. Every summer, I would go on sudden urges to read, and I would take out a bunch of books, but I'd only read one, or I would start one and get bored, then start another one, and then I wouldn't finish either of them. All of this to say that I wasn't a frequent reader like I am now, and that only changed in the past couple of years. I've found that my passion lies in self-improvement and more scientific, philosophical, and psychological books. I hope to make an episode like this one once a year so that I'll have a large group of books to share with you yearly. Now that that's done, let's get started with the books. The first one that started my whole journey is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I think that this is the case for a lot of others too, because it's a really clear introduction to the law of attraction. It's perfect for people just beginning their wellness journey. Since it's just an introduction, I believe that it's great to follow up with other research about the law of attraction through different sources that I'll talk more about later. But for now, you can listen to my law of attraction episode. This is also a movie, if you're more visual. The Secret is also a book series that I only recently discovered. These aren't as well known, and they follow the same idea, but more specifically. I'm going to put these in the order that I read them. So next up is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I really enjoyed this book, and I am a big fan of Hal Elrod. He also has a podcast, which I'll talk about when we get into that section. He talks about how you can implement a 6-minute morning routine into your day to transform your life. Hal talks about the challenges in his life and how these strategies made him the happiest he has ever been in some of the most difficult moments of his life. He uses the abbreviation SAVERS to outline the practices. The first is silence, then affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. I haven't realized it until now, but I've actually subconsciously implemented exactly this into my morning routine during this time that we've been in our houses. After reading the book, I did implement these, but not very well, because I would tell myself that I was too busy. Yes, I was busy, but I believe that now is a better time than ever to begin a healthy lifestyle, so that it's easier for me to carry it into our lives as things begin to resume, and stick with it. Overall, it's an amazing book that will give you so much motivation to start a good routine, and actionable strategies to implement in your life. Next, we have The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Now, this isn't necessarily a self-improvement book, and it is fiction, which I'm not usually a fan of, but this has become my favorite book by far. Although it's a fiction story, the philosophical insight and wisdom is gorgeous. I fell in love with the book immediately. If you do like fiction, even better for you. It's a story of a shepherd boy who's in search for treasure, and meets many people along the way that are very wise and give him things that will help him throughout his journey. Paulo talks about the importance of realizing what he calls your personal legend, that so many people ignore, and in turn become dissatisfied with their lives. He also talks about the power of our dreams, and the importance to listen to our hearts. I bought this book after reading it, so I can reread it and highlight the passages that speak to me. I've not read his other work yet, but I've heard that it's also amazing. After reading The Alchemist, I was on the hunt for another book similar to it, but I had no luck. But this search led me to the next book that I'll talk about. Sorry for the motorcycle in the background if you could hear that. This is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. This book follows the spiritual journey of self-discovery of a man named Siddhartha. in the time of the Buddha. In this philosophical book, Siddhartha leaves home and follows many different spiritual teachings to seek meaning. He then comes to the realization that he has to find personal meaning in his being, not from other teachers. In the end, he resolves that the world consists of two opposites in everything, and that we should appreciate all that life is in its completeness. This has really taught me genuine gratitude for all of life, the good and the bad. If you have read the book, you know why, but I specifically take time to appreciate the water to increase my presence. Then comes The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Now I'm starting to think that this won't be a shorter episode, but that's okay. This is a great book, and it touches on the negative inner voice in your head, being present, letting go of painful thoughts and memories, and going beyond your boundaries by facing your fears. I read this prior to The Power of Now, which I'll be talking about next, but this was perfect because it gave me a first familiarity with the topic of presence, which really helped me in my understanding of The Power of Now. This was a really great book.